Rattler countdown to kickoff.
Rattler countdown to kickoff. Zay Major, the one and only, Big Zero.
Rattler countdown to kickoff. Go Rattler.
Welcome to Rattler Countdown to Kickoff. I'm your host, Spencer Henderson. On today's show, I'll talk about the expectations for the 2022 FAMU Rattlers and also check in with the head of the snake, head coach Willie Simmons. And also, I caught up with starting quarterback Rashawn McKay and the 2021 Buck Buchanan winner, Isaiah Land. Both players share their thoughts on how great this Rattler team can be in 2022. And finally, I'll give my thoughts on the Rattlers' first game of the year on August 27th in Durham, North Carolina against the Tar Heels. Rattler Countdown to Kickoff starts right now. Yes, it is back, guys. Football is finally back. And what better way to catch up with FAMU football than right here on Rattler Countdown to Kickoff. Now, the fall 2022 football season is just underway. And for the Rattlers, it means a lot of heat and a lot of big plays. But the temperature is the least of the Rattlers' concerns going into a year where they lost a few players to the NFL. Former defensive lineman Savion Williams is with the New York Jets. Former offensive lineman Keenan Forbes is with the Seattle Seahawks. And former safety Marquise Bell is with the Dallas Cowboys. So I went out to the Rattlers' first fall camp of the year to meet up with the head of the snake to discuss how losing these key players from last year will affect the team this season.
The guys are up for the challenge. Obviously, when you lose a player like Marquise, somebody else has to step up. So whether that's Javen Morgan, Lovie Smith, B.J. Bowler, Courtney Cox. Again, we have a lot of talented athletes to pick up the slack. So they may have to do it together. Marquise was kind of a one-man wrecking crew. Now it's going to be more of a collective group. But that's what great defense is all about, 11 hands to the ball. I think in a great team, the leadership comes from within. And so guys like Rashawn, guys like Xavier Smith, Isaiah Land, Brian Crawford, and Darius Fagan, who've been here 3, 4, 5 years, who know what the standard is, know what the expectations are, they're the ones that's going to pull those new guys along.
Now, as you can see, Coach named a few standout players who will be expected to step up and make plays after the departure of Marquise Bell. A few other players on the roster that may need to step up is on this offensive line because the Rattlers lost their best offensive lineman to the NFL. Keenan Forbes is signed with the Seattle Seahawks, and the Rattlers will need to address his absence so that Rashawn McKay can feel comfortable in the pocket. The redshirt senior quarterback from Miami, Florida is coming off his best year throwing for more than 2,400 yards and completing 58% of his passes. I had a chance to speak to McKay about what he sees from his offensive line going into this season.
Toughness. That's the biggest thing I've seen from them, tough. Every time I looked at them, they going hard. Even to after the whistle, they still driving the ball to a point where Coach Simmons got to blow the whistle 5, 6 times because they going to, they can't go no more. So with them boys, they working hard. They in the film with Coach Henry. They doing all the little things. Every time I come in for treatment, you'll see them in here treatment, or if they're not in treatment, they're in the film room studying, getting ready for this year. They know there's going to be a big year. Offense going to have to step up this year. It's a big year for the offense. And as a whole team, but really offense. All eyes going to be on us to make sure everything going in place. So that's the biggest thing I've seen from the O-line is toughness.
Now, although those players are now in the NFL, Coach Willie Simmons looks excited about the upcoming year and looks forward to what this year will bring. Another Rattler who looks forward to this year's results is the 6'4", 215-pound redshirt senior linebacker out of Buffalo, New York, Isaiah Land.
Let go, Juice. You better catch it, boy.
Really just the brotherhood, and I was gonna miss the atmosphere and being around my brothers. This is where I started playing college football, and I remember my first time walking out here, and I remember all the memories I made with my brothers, and I just couldn't see myself playing my last year of college football with a new team, a new jersey, and a whole new campus atmosphere.
Now, Land entered the transfer portal after the 2022 NFL Draft, the same draft that saw Montana State's linebacker Troy Anderson get selected in the second round by the Atlanta Falcons. He was considered the second best linebacker in the FCS rankings, while FAMU's Isaiah Land finished first for the Buck Buchanan honor. Now, I spoke with Lane at the first day of fall camp about what fans can expect from his defense after Bell and Savion left for the NFL.
The first day, fall camp, man, we worked this whole offseason. The main thing we talked about was losing Bell and AC back there at safety. And I know the corner room we deep, the nickels we deep. We just need 2 safeties to come step up. And we got a lot of good safeties, but we used to good. It's not, Bell and AC not just good players, they great players. So they got to take it to that next level to try to replace that. And I see like them taking up that task and like trying to fill in that role. And we got so much stronger in the LB room and the corner room than we were last year that like I feel like it's gonna make up for that anyway.
Now with Isaiah Land coming off the edge, the Rattlers were able to beat the brakes off of BCU in last year's Florida Blue Florida Classic. The game's MVP award was earned by defensive back B.J. Bowler, the hometown standout defensive back who starred at Ocoee High School. Bowler intercepted an attempted pass at the Atlanta Classic that led to a touchdown. And in the third quarter, he stripped a BCU receiver and returned it 56 yards for a touchdown.
Yes, sir. We out here, man. Family football. Number 11, finna get this work in. You did.
I was able to speak to Bowler after the first practice this fall and get his thoughts on how the defense is looking in this year's fall camp after losing Marquise Bell to the Dallas Cowboys.
Our secondary is still looking good. I mean, yeah, Marquise Bell was a one of a kind guy. You know, also got Antoine Collier on the other side over there. But we picked up some really, key elements. You know, we got some trends from, Tulsa, Alabama, and we got some guys to replace them. So, and we also have way more depth this year than last year already. So there isn't going to be too much of a drop off from second string to even third string. So the secondary is looking good. You know, I ain't one of the the head guys on the secondary trying to lead those guys to the promised land and whatnot. But we looking good. We're looking good. We working day in, day out. We getting the film in. In the weight room, we pushing one another. And yeah, we coming after it, man. We plan to do even better than last year.
Have you spoken with Marquise?
Yeah. Me and Marquise, we speak time to time. Like, he still comes back and pays homage to family football during his off times or whatever. But he's definitely working. He comes in and it's like he never left. He comes in ready to push us. Hey, what are the DBs at? BJ, you coming outside with me? So that's my guy. That's my brother. One of the best safeties I ever played ball with. And it's just nice for him to come back and still work out with us and hang out with us and not let that Hollywood star fan get to him.
You say that star on the helmet, it can get to your head.
Oh, yeah. No, that's that. Now, he can hide that star, but don't get him too big of a head.
Now, Bowler is set to have another great year for that Dark Cloud defense and has embraced his role as a leader on this year's team. And this Rattlers team has depth and is well coached. And ESPN says other than Jackson State's Deion Sanders, Simmons is the HBCU coach generating the most buzz for FBS jobs. Well, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this first episode of Rattler Countdown to Kickoff, and stay tuned for next week's episode as the Rattlers prepare to travel to North Carolina for the first game of the 2022 season. And I think this will be a great test for the Rattlers to see how they stack up against one of the best teams in the ACC, a team that plays Florida State and lost to the Clemson Tigers in the 2015 ACC Championship game. And these games usually come down to depth, and the Rattlers look deeper than ever heading into that game. Well, that's going to do it for us at Rattler Countdown to Kickoff, but stay tuned for next week's episode as we take a look at FAMU's second week of fall camp. Have a great one.